Obviously happy with the win, proud of our guys. It wasn't our best game, a sloppy game by us with too many penalties at times, left some opportunities out there. But I think a lot of credit goes to Coach Culley and the Texans team. I mean, we watched them last week take it all the way down to the last drive against the Cleveland Browns. We watched them beat Jacksonville convincingly, and there's a lot of veteran players over there, and those guys are proud men, and we knew it was going to be a heck of a game. So a lot of things we have to clean up. We lost some guys with injuries today, so we'll have to regroup pretty quickly. But I think in the second half, I think Sam took care of the football, and I thought Chuba and Royce came in and gave us what we needed in the run game to finish with 120 yards rushing against that defense. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
What's the prognosis with Christian?
Christian strained his hamstring. I don't know the severity level of it yet, to be quite honest with you. But I knew the minute it happened, they said, "Hey, he's out for the game." So that's all I knew. I just saw him in there. He's moving around, but he's obviously have to wait and see kind of MRI it maybe or something to see what the severity is.
Connected at all to last week's stuff?
No, last week was cramps. Yeah, last week was cramps. I don't know what happened today. I just think he pulled it.
How did you think you adjusted offensively to his absence?
I thought we came in at half. For a while there, we kind of were struggling a little bit. We got a little banged up O-line-wise. I think we were really tired. We played 78 plays last week. They had a surge of energy after that. Then I thought in the second half, we trusted Sam. We were throwing 4 verticals, pushed the ball down the field, and then we got rushing yards from Tommy Tremble and Chuba and those guys. So I think we just found a couple core runs. I thought Lovie Smith did a nice job tonight. Like we came in expecting Tampa too, and he played a lot of man. So I think Joe did a nice job adjusting. But if there's anything to take away from it, I thought Chuba and Royce, they stepped up and each made plays, and so we were able to kind of get back to throwing some of those plays that we wanted to do.
Matt, when Christian went out and they scored, was there kind of a sense of shock and maybe everybody just kind of had to regroup a little bit?
Yeah, I don't know if there's shock. I mean, it's just the National Football League. I mean, I don't even think most of our guys knew what was going on with Christian. I mean, we're so in the moment. I mean, everyone's kind of doing their job. I think the one thing was I thought Davis Mills did a really nice job. If we didn't play man and bring pressure, he was finding guys that were open, and that's why he was drafted, highly. And so I thought Phil did a nice job, kind of getting away after they went down and kicked that field goal. Scored the touchdown before the half, and after they kicked that field goal, he started bringing some man pressures again. We just have to trust our guys that they're going to cover. And Rashawn Melvin, Sean Chandler, Dante Jackson with a huge stop on fourth down. Those guys all stepped up with the absence of JC and Justin.
How are JC and Justin?
Justin pulled a muscle. He was still moving on the sideline, but I think he knew he was going to be out. So how long that is, I don't know. And it sounds like JC broke some bones in his foot. So the extent of that, again, they'll have to do a full workup. So I don't know how long that'll be or what the prognosis will be.
Contact with JC is the possibility that was a Liz Frank when you mentioned multiple bones.
I don't know that it's that. I don't believe it's that, but that's not been said to me, so I don't know.
But you multiple bones.
It sounds like it could be a couple bones.
What would you think the timeline?
I have no idea. I have no idea. Honestly, goodness, I have no idea.
Would you attribute some of these injuries to the quick turnaround having to play on the Thursday?
I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think this, quick turnaround, but every team does it, and we've been pretty healthy so far. A lot of other teams have come into these games and they've been down guys. So, when it comes to a broken bone, non-contact, I don't know if that's, that, but maybe some of the pulls could be. So, but it is what it is. I mean, we are where we are. We love those guys. We're going to help them get better. As I said to JC in there, you'll be back. Don't worry about it. JC Horn's a special young man, a special football player. So we'll get the other guys ready.
How unique is Christian in what you do offensively, and what makes him?
Well, Christians just can kind of do everything, and so I think the biggest thing that he brings is they have to account for him in every passing rep. They can't just double DJ, they can't just double Robbie. They have to account for him, and I think Sam has done a great job finding other guys. A lot of off-schedule plays that happen going to Dan Arnold, hit Tommy Tremble down the right sideline. So I thought Sam played in true progression today. But Christian's amazing at his ability to win one-on-one. So people have to zone everything off, and that creates a lot of windows for other people.
With all the questions about Sam, to see what he did tonight when kind of the chips were down for offense and defense with the injuries, what does that say about him and what he means to you guys?
I think number one, if you watch the way we called the game, it means we trust him. Even on that last drive, we're throwing 4 verticals with him, and I just think in my mind, I say to myself all the time, these are professional football players. They've been doing this their whole lives. They let them go play. Like don't try to overmanage the game. Let them go play. Let them make plays. And so sometimes you go for it fourth and half a foot and you don't get it. They make a play, and sometimes we go make a play. So, but I think one thing about Sam, he has some moxie, man. I mean, he stayed in the pocket, had that long run called back, but finding Terrace on the 3rd and 12. I mean, there were some huge conversions by Sam, and again, it's him just playing within the system, but also I think he has a courageousness that. But he's not crossing the line going over the top. He's protecting the football and still pushing the ball down there. And look at the play Alex Erickson made. I mean, that ball, because it's going to be picked, is it not going to be picked? It makes a great play. So a lot of production from a lot of different places.
Matt, from the outset, how do you think Royce and Chuba played in Christian's stead, and what might you be looking for them going forward if Christian does have to?
Yeah, I think they just have to be starting NFL running backs, and Royce has done that before. And I told Chuba at halftime, that's why we drafted you, man. Like, this is your moment. I thought Chuba was outstanding. I think, at the end of the half, we didn't give him a ton of chances, but I thought he got in there at the end and made some key runs. When we can line up in 4-minute offense and run and get the first down on 2 plays, I mean, especially versus that stout defense, that's a credit to the offensive line. That's credit to the tight ends and fullbacks. But I thought those backs hit it, and the minute Royce got in, he made that nice run. Cut the ball back on a duo play, which that's a veteran run. That's a guy who's played a bunch and saw it. So those guys stepped up for us.
Hey, we'll do one more question.
How much should, how much,
David? Go ahead, David.
how much, with an end of the second quarter or after Christian was out, Darnold was sacked 3 times, how much did the protection break down without Christian, and how much do you feel like that Darnold took on his shoulders in the second half?
Yeah, I don't think any of that was attributed to Christian. I think one of them was a deep shot that we were going to throw, and Tommy came back and just he just has to get on the guy. Got knocked back into the quarterback. The other one was just a nice effort. The guy reached and knocked it out. And the last one was we're pushing the ball down the field in 2 minutes. So, I mean they're good rushers, and we knew they were going to be really good rushers. Johnny Miller got banged up early in that game. Hurt his shoulder and wouldn't come out of the game. And so I think once they got to the second half, those guys, the offensive line just kind of regrouped a little bit. Like I said, we practiced a bunch of one thing and saw a lot of the other, and that's it's to be expected in the National Football League. Like that's why we have a system, and our coaches adjusted. But I don't, I think for the rest of the guys, like they love Christian, they love having him out there, but they also trust everyone else. And so I thought they played to the system, and I told our guys like this game will be won in the last 5 minutes. Like I just know Coach Culley, I know Lovie Smith, I know these guys are good coaches, and I know these players. They got winners over there, so I thought they hung in there, and we just made a couple plays at the end.
Last question, go ahead, Sheila.
Coach, you guys said that you drafted J.C. Horn with the hopes of being able to play more aggressive man coverage and things like that. With him out, do you have to change that approach with the backups, or do you feel like they've been prepared enough to play more of that man-to-man versus zone coverage?
Yeah, we trust them. We trust those guys to play. Those guys went in there and played. I mean, Sean Melvin played the whole game. We're gonna kind of stick with what we do, play our system, and I think at the end of the day we play a lot of zone, we play a lot of man. We're playing some 2-man at the end. I thought Phil dialed up what he needed to do to get the win. So we'll continue to do those things. And like I said, every one of these guys is a true pro. They're here for a reason. So when opportunity comes, they get it, and they found a way to capitalize tonight. Hopefully, they can do it again after this little mini bye we have.